race number 2, part number 2.5. 6 laps to go in this one. Revs are up. All right, here we go. So Way Racing. Josh Hayes in 3rd spot. David Anthony right behind him, and it's going to be Xavi Flores who leads us into turn number 1. Is David Anthony trying to go around the outside of Hayes on that wrenched Motorcycles entry GSXR 750.
That's what Josh needed to do. He needed to get in behind these 2 guys at the front through these S's for the first lap. So for the 4, that's going to be a big advantage for him. You can see him just stretch out in between turn 4 and 5 there over Dave Anthony. He closes up on the back a little bit closer to Ty Scott. So for Hayes, it's worked out okay. Now maybe he can try to get into a rhythm and go with these guys at the front. Biggest problem is again, he's going to be going all the way back down to 1st gear on that R6. When they get over the top of this hill, it's going to be 4th gear down through here and all the way back through the gearbox. So see if Josh can get off that turn with these guys.
So Xavi Flores leading the way. Look at the run that Ty Scott's trying to get onto the back straightaway and stretch the legs of that GSXR 750. But so far the Panigale V2, that 955 twin, electronically controlled for balancing. Having a good run at it, but it looks like Ty Scott might be in the draft. We know that he can pass up the inside, but a couple of bike lengths too far away. Is Hayes and David Anthony leaning on each other? Does David know he's there?
2 super experienced riders doing that with each other, and then, you know, it looks like it's so close from our vantage point, but they know what they're doing. They can't mess around too much. They don't want these guys to get away, but again, you see here again, the difference there, Dave Anthony does not go back a gear, Josh does. And you see how Dave Anthony's bike rolls in there a little bit wide? That's because in 2nd gear, he doesn't have that engine brake to really help slow him down. So when you're tipping in on the edge of the tire in a gear that's a little bit taller, it makes everything feel a little bit flighty up in the front. That's why he couldn't just get down to the apex there as he goes around the outside of Torrin Collins to set himself up for the inside of turn 19. Run a little bit wide again.
Couldn't get a turn.
Torrin turns it back underneath him.
So the 18-year-old from Canada, Torrin Collins, on that Vision Wheel M4 Star Suzuki, and his only ride in Supersport and first of his career this weekend. Back to the front we go, and lead change. And it is Ty Scott. But up the inside goes Xavi Flores with a more direct line to the apex of the corner, and he will control the exit speed.
Yeah, he just parked him at the corner there, and now for, this is something that you kind of see.
But Ty doesn't look at it like that. All he wants to do is race with him, and he wants to beat him. This is a very focused and determined 17-year-old, and he likes nothing more than just to win. As we are on our final lap of competition, Xavi Flores had gotten about nearly a half a second, but on this straightaway, Ty Scott reels him in and makes a pass.
He's in deep.
Can he hold it? Can he hold it? He's going to go wide on the exit. Xavi squaring it up, so it should be.
Ty's going to have it. That's an impressive move there from Ty Scott, because we've seen Xavi work that inside on him probably 4 or 5 times, and we've yet to see Ty do it. Ty made a big commitment once he got in that draft on the front straightaway that he was going to go to the inside that time and make a committed pass to go up underneath Xavi Flores. Now it's going to be a little bit harder for Xavi Flores, I think, at this point. I think you're going to see him do something when they get down into turn 11. So they're going to go, this is turn 8, up over turn 9, couple short shifts, Greg, into a very fast, flat out almost on these bikes. This kink here. Now let's see if Ty moves over to the left and blocks the inside and see if Flores tries to push that in there. Yes, he's going to have a go.
There goes Xavi up the inside, the line open, and all of a sudden they go side by side as Scott has to lift. But with the draft, does Flores have enough squirting out of the corner, or will that Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki get in the draft? Here he goes right by him.
And you watch Xavi turn it back over to the left, and he's going to try to just draft right back past and brake, put himself in a spot to outbrake coming in here. But is he going to get close enough?
They're side by side, and Scott has to lift, but he doesn't want to give it up and push him wide. Both of them out on the edge of the racetrack. And now Scott goes up the inside. That's the move that Xavi probably had to make.
Next one's going to be this next left. He's going to open it up, and he's going to try to square up and go up underneath it. But Ty Scott, good racecraft from Ty. He's got to get in there and park it right there. Runs it out just a little bit. Does Xavi go back by, or is Ty able to keep that spot?
Oh, that's a lot of corner speed for Ty Scott. Is he going to be able to keep it tight through this section of the road course? He does, but Flores is running out of opportunities to pass. Here goes Flores, late on the brakes, up the inside. No, almost made contact. Ty Scott not giving him anything, but he runs wide as both of them do. Now onto the front straightaway we go, and it looks like for the moment Ty Scott has got it in hand. As he comes to the line, it'll be Ty Scott with the checkered flag. Xavi Flores is second.
Wow, what a race. And here's the battle for third. Torrin Collins trying to hold off Dave Anthony as they get into that last corner. Torrin Collins is going to give him for X-Star Suzuki a podium in his debut weekend.
Wow, so the 18-year-old from Canada gets it done. The Calgary native goes P3. But boy, that was an interesting last lap, Jason. If this was MotoGP, all bets would be off.
Oh my God! Yeah, no question. Both riders were way outside the green, and they had a 12-second lead. So I don't know how much you think about penalizing them, but yeah.